Hey, I'm Father Roderick, and by now you must have heard the very sad news that the remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, one of the best Star Wars games in history, is in serious trouble. In this video, I tell you what's going on and what I think should happen. Is there anyone among you who has never played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic? It is a classic adventure game, and in many ways it was far ahead of its time. The whole idea that you could choose what to say, how to act, whether you would go to the left or to the right, use a droid to hack a system or just use brute force, and that would impact how the story would evolve and even how it would end. That was a novel concept at the time, and it was such an amazing way to bring people into the world of Star Wars so that you felt that you actually played a role, that your choices mattered. By now, that's a very familiar concept. By then, it was groundbreaking, it was revolutionary. And so imagine how excited everyone was when we heard that there was going to be a remake of this game, and it would play on a PlayStation 5. So that indicated that we would also get a graphical overhaul, not just a slightly polished up version of the original game. The company Aspyr, who is actually specialized in porting older games to newer systems, was said to be working on this game, and it would come out later this year. But just the other day, we got the news that, that's not going to happen anymore. The game is in serious trouble. So what's going on? Two big companies were involved in this project. Sony, on the one hand, because of the PlayStation 5, and Lucasfilm, on the other hand. And they outsourced the remake of this game to Aspyr. A while back we got a tiny glimpse of this remake in the form of a pre-rendered video that was shown on one of those Sony presentations, and it just gave me goosebumps. It looked so good. But they didn't show us any gameplay, and so a lot of us fans were wondering, so is this going to be a total remake like what they did with Final Fantasy, or is this going to be a rebuild of the game, more like what they did with the Blade Runner game? It turns out they had nothing to show at the time. For months, they've been working on a demo for Sony and Lucasfilm, reportedly, but that demo was going to be a proof of concept. And apparently, they spent so much money and time and energy and resources on that demo that the actual development of the game itself never got anywhere. And then last month, both the design director and the art director were fired. In May, there were already signs that something was not going well because Saber Interactive, a parent company of Aspyr, was telling people that they would come and assist the development of this game. But you don't bring in another company unless you can't do it by yourself. And that's when they started to realize how bad the situation really was. Now, this is what the CEO of Saber Interactive told another company at the time. We are fully confident that the game is going to be fantastic, but it's a massive product. And massive products require a lot of effort and a lot of time to make good. And then he continued, and especially when you're talking about a game that's already old, very old, we've basically had to remake that game from scratch. Well, duh. That was to be expected. They burned a ton of money on the development of a slick demo without really getting anywhere with the remake and the rebuild of this game. And that's probably why the people in charge, these two directors, were fired. Now, apparently the development of this remake is on hold indefinitely, and I don't think that means that the game is cancelled, that we'll never see it. It's obvious that they need some time to regroup and to basically start the plan from scratch. But it's not the end of the world. Let's not get overly dramatic. After all, there are so many other Star Wars games that are in development as well. There is so much very cool Star Wars content just around the corner. Think of Andor on Disney+. Think of the Tales of the Jedi, all the cool stuff that they were previewing during the Star Wars celebration in Anaheim. And of course, the original game is still there. You can still play it. Yeah, it looks super vintage and retro, but I would say that's part of its charm. The story is what truly matters, and that story is still amazing. So yeah, I'm bummed that we have to wait maybe until 2025, but good things come to those who wait. And in the meantime, here's a suggestion. Why not create a Steam workshop for this first KOTOR? Of course, there is KOTOR 2 that has a Steam workshop, so that fans can start working on improving the original game. When was the last time that you played Knights of the Old Republic, and how do you feel right now? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more.